Every movement here is slow, every heartbeat precious, and every living creature has evolved in ways almost impossible to imagine. Even the largest hunters become silent travelers within this vast underwater darkness. This is an ecosystem built not by sunlight, but by extraordinary adaptation. Some creatures seem so strange that early explorers believed they belonged to another world. Even the most barren landscapes of the deep hide astonishing communities waiting to be discovered. Sunlight can no longer reach this place, yet life continues to flourish in astonishing forms. Every creature here survives through remarkable evolutionary solutions refined over millions of years. This is only the beginning of our journey into Earth's last truly alien frontier. Beyond this point, the ocean no longer belongs to the sun. It belongs to evolution alone. In this deep alien ecosystem, even the smallest creatures, like these copepods, become vital sources of life. This is the siphonophore, a remarkable example of cooperation found nowhere else on Earth. Hundreds of billions of animals repeat this migration every night, making it the largest movement of life on Earth. How gentle movement conserves precious energy in an environment where food is incredibly scarce. Even here, where darkness dominates forever, ocean currents continue shaping the landscape, just as rivers shape continents above. Despite its frightening appearance, this remarkable mollusk survives mostly by collecting falling organic particles, rather than hunting large prey. Our journey has only begun, and the deepest secrets of Earth's alien ocean still lie far below. Where sunlight has never existed, life has discovered another source of energy. These extraordinary communities survive entirely without sunlight, powered only by Earth's hidden geological energy.
This remarkable creature shows how evolution transformed an ordinary mollusk into one of the most heavily armored animals on Earth.
Every habitat beneath the sea remains interconnected, despite unimaginable distances. Every slight change in temperature creates an entirely different underwater ecosystem. Transparency itself has become one of the ocean's greatest survival strategies. The deeper we travel, the stranger life becomes, and we have only begun to understand its remarkable story. Sometimes the greatest mysteries reveal themselves only one detail at a time. Scientists have observed this extraordinary squid only a handful of times in its natural habitat. Many deep-sea mollusks seem to challenge every conventional idea of animal anatomy. Even vertical cliffs become thriving islands of biodiversity beneath the ocean. In this perpetual darkness, light has become the dominant language of communication among these elegant creatures. Invisibility is among the most successful adaptations ever developed beneath the sea. Every tiny organism supports the survival of much larger ocean life. Some legends of the sea are not legends at all. Encounters between predators are exceptionally rare within such an immense ocean. Beyond every discovery lies another mystery, and the ocean is preparing to reveal one of its most extraordinary spectacles. Light is more than beauty here. It is the language that allows life to exist in eternal darkness. Transparency has become one of evolution's greatest defenses against predators in the open ocean. Survival here depends on efficiency rather than speed. This nightly migration is among the greatest natural movements of life anywhere on Earth. Even the oldest volcanic rocks continue supporting remarkable communities of marine life after millions of years beneath the sea. In the deep ocean, every living creature senses change long before danger becomes visible. The deeper we descend into Earth's hidden ocean, the more extraordinary life becomes, and the greatest discoveries are. Below this point, the ocean becomes one of the least explored environments on our entire planet. Even within this hostile environment, parental care greatly increases the chances of survival. No artist could have imagined such astonishing diversity. Every fragment of organic matter arriving from above becomes precious nourishment, sustaining countless unseen lives. Perhaps nowhere else on Earth resembles the night sky more closely than the deepest ocean. Humans have explored only a tiny fraction of this immense underwater frontier. Our descent has revealed only the threshold of an alien world. Ahead lies the extraordinary story of the deep-sea molluscs themselves. Among the countless alien creatures hidden beneath the ocean, few appear as gentle and extraordinary as the remarkable Dumbo octopus.
Unlike most shallow-water octopuses, this deep-sea species rarely wastes energy, conserving every.
Millions of years of evolution have refined every anatomical feature of the Dumbo octopus for survival beneath the crushing ocean pressure. Even isolated volcanic ridges become thriving islands of life within the immense darkness of the ocean. Patience often becomes the greatest hunting strategy in the deepest parts of the ocean. Every successful meal represents precious energy that may sustain the animal for many days. Even from the earliest stages of life, these remarkable mollusks must navigate one of the harshest environments anywhere on Earth. Survival beneath the sea depends not upon strength, but upon extraordinary efficiency and remarkable adaptation. Hidden within these silent depths lives another extraordinary octopus, one whose devotion to its young has become. In one of the coldest and most isolated places beneath Earth's oceans, motherhood becomes an extraordinary act of endurance. Every movement is carefully controlled to protect the next generation. In the freezing darkness of the abyss, each embryo develops slowly, rocked gently by the currents as bioluminescent particles drift by.
Even the smallest organisms contribute to the survival of future generations.
Each deep-sea species occupies its own carefully balanced ecological niche.
This remarkable behavior is one of the longest periods of maternal dedication ever observed among marine animals.
These sponge gardens provide shelter for countless ocean species throughout their lives. Carried by the current, these tiny mollusks begin a perilous journey. Few will survive, but this fragile beginning is shared by all deep-sea life. If the Casper octopus teaches us patience, the next remarkable species teaches us the extraordinary art of becoming almost completely invisible.
Sometimes, the greatest way to survive beneath the ocean is simply to disappear. To survive where there is nowhere to hide, evolution chose an extraordinary solution: almost complete transparency.
Reducing visibility dramatically lowers the chance of being detected by predators.
Transparency is one of the most efficient forms of camouflage ever produced by the relentless process of natural selection.
Drifting gracefully through the current, the glass octopus ensures almost every movement is designed to remain unnoticed by its unsuspecting prey nearby. This invisible community exists beyond the awareness of almost every passing predator. Remaining perfectly still often becomes the safest response in the deep ocean. Camouflage can often overcome speed or strength within the perpetual darkness of the abyss.
The open ocean is both one of the safest and most dangerous places beneath the sea.
Ahead waits another master of the abyss, a mollusk whose astonishing form has challenged every expectation of.
Few animals beneath Earth's oceans appear more mysterious than the extraordinary Magna pinna squid.
Scientists have encountered this remarkable mollusk only a handful of times in its natural environment.
These extraordinary extensions may function like passive fishing lines deep within the sea.
Many deep-sea predators depend upon patience rather than pursuit, conserving energy within one of Earth's most nutrient-limited environments.
Even these remarkable mollusks share the abyss with predators of far greater size. Every hard surface beneath the deep ocean becomes a sanctuary, supporting astonishing biological diversity. Beyond every remarkable discovery, the ocean quietly prepares an even greater mystery.
Despite its intimidating name, this extraordinary mollusk is one of the most peaceful inhabitants of the deep ocean. This remarkable cephalopod belongs to an ancient evolutionary lineage, unlike any modern squid or octopus. These natural lights may confuse predators and help the animal disappear into the surrounding sea. These remarkable sensory structures are highly specialized tools for detecting tiny organic particles drifting through the abyss. This defensive posture protects sensitive body tissues while presenting a confusing silhouette to approaching predators.
This unusual feeding strategy allows survival without chasing active prey.
Avoiding detection often proves more successful than escaping through speed.
Some of evolution's greatest achievements remain hidden where almost no human eyes have ever looked. Every descent into the deep ocean reveals another masterpiece of evolution, and our journey has only begun.
Every remarkable mollusk we have encountered tells a different chapter in the story of evolution beneath the ocean. Every adaptation visible here has been shaped by millions of years of relentless natural selection.
Patience, efficiency, and adaptation unite every deep-sea mollusk, despite their extraordinary diversity. Humanity has explored only a tiny fraction of this extraordinary underwater world. Each species represents a unique solution to surviving in perpetual darkness. We have discovered extraordinary creatures, but the next chapter reveals something even more astonishing. In the deep ocean, survival often depends not upon becoming stronger, but upon becoming impossible to see. True transparency remains one of the rarest and most remarkable evolutionary achievements in the animal kingdom. Every unnecessary pigment has gradually disappeared over millions of years of deep-sea evolution. Camouflage here is achieved not by hiding behind rocks, but by becoming part of the ocean itself. Perfect stillness often completes the illusion created by transparency. Many animals enhance their camouflage simply by remaining close to similar-looking neighbors. The greatest illusion beneath the sea is not what we can see, but everything we cannot. Transparency is only the first chapter of camouflage. The next master of disguise transforms its very skin into the ocean itself. Some cephalopods possess the astonishing ability to transform not only their color, but even the texture of their skin. Chromatophores operate almost instantly, under direct control of the nervous system. Camouflage is achieved through the combined action of pigment, reflected light, and skin texture working together. Beneath the sea, even a living animal can become visually indistinguishable from the landscape itself.
Successful camouflage allows predators to conserve enormous amounts of energy.
Camouflage is constantly adjusted in response to changing light, background, and viewing angle. Every habitat demands its own unique camouflage strategy. Camouflage remains effective only when every detail of the surrounding environment is accurately copied. Camouflage is not a single transformation. It is a continuous conversation between the animal and its environment. Beyond pigments and texture lies an even more remarkable form of disguise: the ability to manipulate light itself.
Some deep-sea mollusks do not simply hide from light. They become part of it.
This extraordinary strategy is known as counter-illumination, allowing predators below to see only the faint light rather than the animal itself.
Camouflage beneath the sea often depends upon physics as much as biology. Some animals survive not by avoiding light, but by mastering it. This is one of the finest examples of optical camouflage found anywhere on Earth.
Beneath the surface pigments, specialized reflective cells constantly redirect light according to changing viewing angles. The greatest camouflage is achieved when the eye can no longer distinguish where the animal ends and the ocean begins.
Evolution has produced many different paths toward the same goal, remaining unseen.
The deeper we explore, the more we discover that camouflage beneath the ocean is limited only by the imagination of evolution.
Camouflage reaches its highest form when even shape itself becomes an illusion. Posture can become just as important as color when avoiding detection.
The nervous system continuously controls thousands of microscopic muscles beneath the skin.
Successful camouflage often depends upon moving exactly as the surrounding environment moves.
Perfect disguise allows predators to remain invisible, even at extremely close distances, as the shrimp searches for food.
This remarkable flexibility as one of the most sophisticated camouflage behaviors ever documented.
Camouflage is a dynamic process rather than a permanent appearance. Evolution rarely creates only one solution to the same challenge.
Some deep-sea cephalopods disappear not by changing color alone, but by becoming part of the landscape itself. When the ocean changes, the masters of disguise transform with it, revealing an intelligence written into every movement. Camouflage is not merely the ability to hide, it is the ability to influence what another animal believes it is seeing. Matching the rhythm of the environment often becomes just as important as matching its appearance. Camouflage is constantly recalculated by the animal's highly developed nervous system. The octopus understands that in this environment, timing often determines success far more than speed.
Evolution rarely favors a single strategy when many successful solutions are possible.
Becoming part of the landscape often provides the greatest protection against both predators and prey.
Sometimes the most successful hunter is the one that never appears to exist at all.
From the transparent glass octopus to the shimmering comb jellies, camouflage has evolved in countless forms across the surrounding sea.
Even perfect camouflage cannot hide the next great mystery waiting in the endless ocean beyond.
Across the deep ocean, camouflage has evolved into one of nature's greatest masterpieces. Every strategy reflects millions of years of natural selection. These mesmerizing displays allow the cuttlefish to disappear, as each microscopic cell contributes to an extraordinary illusion of invisibility. Every habitat reveals a different solution to the challenge of remaining unseen.
Every level of the ocean has inspired its own remarkable evolutionary innovations.
The deeper we explore, the more the ocean resembles another world. As this panoramic view shows, every diverse habitat you see forms part of a single, interconnected living ocean.
Every inhabitant of the deep ocean can sense subtle disturbances long before danger becomes visible. Even the greatest masters of camouflage cannot completely conceal the presence of an approaching hunter. Where camouflage reaches its limit, another force begins to rule the deep ocean, the eternal hunters of the abyss.
Where light disappears almost completely, a different law governs the ocean. Here,
even in the deepest ocean, predators often rely upon patience rather than speed.
Many deep-sea animals can detect approaching danger long before they ever see the predator.
The hunt has already begun, although almost nothing has yet been seen.
Energy conservation remains essential, even for the most efficient predators of the abyss.
Successful hunting beneath the sea is often measured in fractions of a second.
The deep ocean supports many forms of survival, each perfectly adapted to its own ecological role. Fear itself travels quickly through the ocean, even when the hunter remains hidden. The greatest predators rarely announce their arrival.
In the next stage of our descent, we will finally meet the silent hunters that have ruled Earth's deepest oceans for millions of years. Reducing unnecessary movement allows predators to conserve energy while remaining almost undetectable. Unusually large eyes allow deep-sea cephalopods to recognize distant disturbances long before prey becomes visible.
Successful hunters often allow the ocean itself to become part of their strategy.
Restraint frequently determines success more reliably than immediate pursuit.
The most efficient hunters rarely waste energy chasing more than they need.
The ocean never pauses for long, even after danger has passed.
This nightly migration attracts hunters from every depth, creating one of the greatest feeding events on Earth beneath the sea. In the deepest ocean, every predator eventually becomes prey to something even larger still.
The greatest predators rarely reveal themselves until the perfect moment has already arrived.
Efficient movement allows giant hunters to travel extraordinary distances while conserving precious energy.
Every structure has evolved for maximum efficiency beneath crushing ocean pressure.
Successful hunters often become invisible through perfect timing, rather than perfect camouflage. Patience remains the most valuable weapon possessed by many deep ocean hunters.
In the abyss, hesitation rarely survives. Life beneath the ocean continues without pause, regardless of every successful hunt. Even the hunters of the abyss must share their kingdom with legends still waiting beyond the darkness. Every hunter eventually enters territory occupied by something even larger.
Many deep-sea animals sense approaching predators through subtle water displacement long before visual contact. Coordinated movement greatly reduces the risk faced by every individual within the group. In the deep ocean, every hunter must remain alert, because every hunt carries its own danger. Every ecosystem beneath the sea remains connected through the continuous movement of life. The deeper the ocean becomes, the less often size guarantees survival. Beyond this point, even the greatest hunters begin entering the territories of rivals equally powerful. Direct encounters between giant predators remain among the rarest events ever witnessed beneath the sea. Even subtle displays of light may communicate strength, territory, or intention long before physical contact occurs.
Avoiding unnecessary conflict often becomes the most successful survival strategy, even among the largest hunters of the abyss.
Maneuverability often proves more valuable than size when hunting among complex underwater habitats.
The finest hunters waste neither movement nor opportunity.
Every night beneath the ocean, one of the greatest migrations on Earth becomes an equally extraordinary gathering of hunters.
The greatest predator of the deep is still waiting, and our descent has only begun. Not every hunter of the abyss possesses tentacles. Some breathe air, yet master the deepest oceans on Earth.
This remarkable hunter can remain beneath the ocean for extraordinary lengths of time while searching for giant cephalopods. Sound, rather than vision, becomes the whale's greatest hunting tool in perpetual darkness.
Many hunts beneath the ocean unfold over long distances rather than explosive moments. Knowledge of the landscape can become as valuable as physical strength.
Not every extraordinary ecosystem beneath the sea is shaped by predators. Some are created by the restless heart of our planet itself.
Beyond the realm of eternal hunters lies another alien world, where fire, minerals, and life come together.
Far beneath the ocean, where sunlight has never reached, another source of life rises directly from the heart of our planet. This remarkable environment exists only because chemistry replaces sunlight as the foundation of life.
None of these animals depend directly upon photosynthesis.
These remarkable worms survive through symbiotic bacteria, living entirely within their own bodies. These invisible organisms form the true foundation of one of Earth's most extraordinary ecosystems beneath the ocean. Every species here has evolved specifically for one of the harshest environments on Earth. Many vent mollusks also rely upon symbiotic bacteria living inside their tissues. Among these fiery underwater landscapes lives one of the most extraordinary mollusks ever discovered. And among all known mollusks beneath the ocean, none has evolved armor as extraordinary as the remarkable scaly-foot snail. No other known mollusk has incorporated metallic minerals into its protective scales so extensively. These remarkable structures provide protection against crushing predators and the extreme environment surrounding the hydrothermal vents.
Only centimeters separate lethal heat from the near-freezing seawater of the abyss. Hydrothermal vents create biological islands scattered across the otherwise barren abyss.
Even the armored snail ultimately depends upon microscopic bacteria that transform chemical energy into the foundation of the entire ecosystem. The snail and its bacterial partners survive together as a single integrated biological system.
Few animals on Earth have adapted so completely to such an extreme environment.
Even within this fiery underwater world, evolution continues revealing forms of life unlike anything we have ever imagined. This is not merely a collection of species. It is a thriving city built entirely upon the chemistry of the Earth. Every tube worm depends upon billions of internal symbiotic bacteria rather than a digestive system. This remarkable partnership between the tube worm and chemosynthetic bacteria allows life to flourish here without sunlight.
Vent mussels also rely upon symbiotic bacteria living inside their gills to obtain energy from chemical reactions.
Some vent shrimps deliberately cultivate bacteria upon their own bodies as an important food source. Each species contributes to the remarkable stability of this underwater community. Hydrothermal vents reproduce not only through geology, but by continuously dispersing new generations across the abyss. Every thriving vent ecosystem begins with invisible microbial pioneers. Even these ancient cities of life are never permanent, because the earth beneath them never truly rests. The cities of the hydrothermal vents exist only because the Earth's crust is constantly creating new foundations beneath the ocean. Invisible microorganisms become the first architects of every hydrothermal ecosystem. Life returns astonishingly quickly whenever new hydrothermal vents are born. Entire underwater communities may emerge within only a few years. Ocean currents become invisible highways connecting hydrothermal ecosystems separated by hundreds of kilometers.
Hydrothermal vents constantly recycle life through an endless cycle of birth, growth, and renewal.
Every hydrothermal vent begins with simple fractures hidden beneath the seafloor. What once appeared to be isolated islands of life are, in reality, chapters of one continuous underwater story. Even after hydrothermal activity ceases, the structures continue supporting life for generations. Beneath the ocean, destruction and creation are never separate. They are simply different moments in the same endless cycle.
Every hydrothermal vent begins with an extraordinary conversation between fire and the ocean.
Microscopic life always arrives before larger organisms, laying the foundation for entire ecosystems.
Geology and biology become inseparable beneath the sea.
The hydrothermal plumes influence ecosystems far beyond the visible vent field, distributing dissolved chemicals throughout the surrounding ocean.
Every thriving ecosystem begins with organisms too small to be seen by the human eye.
Even extinct hydrothermal systems continue nourishing life for centuries beneath the sea. Few places reveal the living heartbeat of our planet more clearly than the hydrothermal vents hidden beneath the ocean.
As one hidden world disappears behind us, another begins emerging from the endless ocean ahead.
Every hydrothermal vent is temporary, yet the life it creates leaves a lasting legacy across the deep ocean. Hydrothermal activity continuously reshapes the geography of life beneath the sea.
Every ecosystem merges naturally into another without sharp boundaries.
Even distant sediments retain the influence of hydrothermal chemistry for generations.
Even where the vents can no longer be seen, their influence remains alive.
Ocean currents become the invisible bridges connecting distant generations of hydrothermal life.
Even after geological activity ends, biological succession continues writing new chapters across the ocean floor. Even abandoned shells become habitats, supporting entirely new generations of life. We now leave the fiery cities beneath the ocean and enter the quietest, oldest, and most mysterious lands. Nearly half of our planet lies beneath abyssal plains like these, yet they remain among the least explored landscapes on Earth.
Even this seemingly empty landscape supports astonishing biodiversity hidden within the sediment.
Some of the largest single-celled life forms on Earth quietly inhabit these forgotten ocean depths.
Patience defines nearly every form of life upon the abyssal plain. Even death beneath the ocean immediately creates new opportunities for life. Nothing remains unused upon the deep ocean floor.
Silence does not mean emptiness. It simply asks us to look more carefully.
In the nutrient-poor abyss, even a single unexpected food source can transform an entire ecosystem.
Far below the waves lies one of the greatest gifts ever delivered to the abyss, the silent arrival of a fallen giant. When a whale completes its final journey, it creates an entirely new world beneath the ocean.
A single whale fall may support entire biological communities for decades.
Bacteria initiate one of the longest recycling processes in the deep ocean. The skeleton itself becomes an artificial reef, supporting remarkable biodiversity in an otherwise featureless landscape. These remarkable organisms possess no mouth and no stomach, relying entirely upon symbiotic bacteria to digest the whale's remaining lipids. Even in death, the whale continues nourishing life through partnerships invisible to the human eye. Different communities gradually replace one another over many years as decomposition progresses.
The scent of a whale fall attracts scavengers from extraordinary distances across the abyss.
Every stage of decomposition creates opportunities for entirely new forms of life.
The feast has entered a new chapter, and larger visitors are only now beginning to arrive.
In the deep ocean, patience often becomes the greatest hunting strategy, and few predators embody that principle more perfectly than the sleeper sharks.
This predator may live for several centuries, becoming one of the longest-lived vertebrates on Earth.
Despite imperfect vision, the shark relies upon an extraordinary combination of smell, vibration, and environmental awareness to locate food across the immense abyss.
Every visitor arrives at precisely the right stage of this extraordinary ecosystem.
Many whale-fall predators feed opportunistically, rather than aggressively competing for every resource. Some of the oldest lineages of vertebrate evolution still play vital roles within the deep ocean today. Hagfish of the Myxine genus possess one of the most unusual feeding strategies among all living vertebrates. The influence of a whale fall extends far beyond the skeleton itself, nourishing life across an immense area of the abyss.
The deeper we explore, the more the ocean reveals landscapes whose purpose still challenges modern science. Even seemingly empty seabed formations often support hidden ecosystems, invisible from a distance.
Despite their quiet appearance, these abyssal soils contain an astonishing amount of biological diversity.
Every change in ocean circulation immediately reshapes life upon the abyssal plane.
These gentle animals recycle enormous quantities of abyssal sediment every year. Even on the quiet abyssal plane, evolution has discovered unexpected ways to move. Each nodule grows only a few millimeters every million years, while providing essential hard surfaces for countless organisms. Here, miles beneath the waves, we find that even the oldest rocks beneath the sea remain full of life.
Some landscapes visible here have remained largely unchanged for millions of years.
Beyond the peaceful abyssal plains lies an even more extreme frontier, where only the most extraordinary molluscs can survive.
Beyond the abyss lies the Hadal Zone, the deepest environment known on our planet.
Even the steep walls of ocean trenches provide valuable habitats in an otherwise vertical wilderness.
Pressure exceeding 1,000 times atmospheric levels shapes every organism living here.
Biodiversity changes gradually as depth continues increasing. Even isolated rocks become entire ecosystems within the deepest ocean.
At these depths, every shelter becomes priceless.
Development within the Hydrothermal zone may require several years because of the extreme cold.
Even the deepest trenches remain connected to the rest of the planet through continuous ocean circulation. Even here, at the deepest frontier beneath the ocean, the Earth still keeps its oldest secrets hidden beneath the sediment.
Even in the deepest ocean, life continues searching for every possible source of energy.
Even the weakest geological activity can sustain entire biological communities in the deepest ocean.
Energy conservation governs every aspect of life at these unimaginable depths.
This isolated landscape has remained almost unchanged for millions of years.
Every particle becomes valuable nourishment in one of Earth's most nutrient-limited environments beneath the surrounding sea.
From the surface to the deepest trench, every layer of the ocean remains connected by the continuous journey of falling life.
Even isolated rocky outcrops become essential refuges for countless deep ocean species.
Another hidden world is waiting beyond the trench.
Our journey across the silent abyss now leads toward underwater mountains, where isolation has created entirely new...
After the silence of the abyss, underwater mountains rise like forgotten islands, creating some of the richest habitats in the deep ocean. These reefs flourish entirely without sunlight, relying instead upon nutrients carried by deep ocean currents.
Every branch supports dozens of hidden species.
Some sponge colonies have survived for centuries beneath the deep ocean. These remarkable echinoderms transform gentle currents into constant sources of nourishment. Underwater mountains concentrate ocean currents, allowing exceptional biodiversity to flourish.
Unlike the empty abyss, underwater mountains gather life from every direction.
Countless deep-sea molluscs spend their entire lives within these protected coral labyrinths.
One of the oldest surviving molluscs on Earth is about to appear. For hundreds of millions of years, this remarkable survivor has carried the history of the oceans within its shell. Few living animals carry an evolutionary history as ancient as the nautilus, a survivor from seas that existed long before the first dinosaurs walked upon the Earth. The nautilus has changed remarkably little over hundreds of millions of years because its design remains extraordinarily successful. Every new chamber records another stage in the animal's lifelong journey through the ocean. The nautilus controls its depth by regulating fluid within its shell chambers rather than swimming continuously. These ancient mollusks remain closely connected to stable underwater mountain ecosystems. Unlike modern squids and octopuses, the nautilus depends primarily upon chemical detection rather than highly developed vision.
Some of the oldest lineages of molluscs still find refuge upon these isolated seamounts. Even within the darkness of the deep ocean, evolution has produced astonishing beauty.
Beyond the ancient shell of the nautilus lies another hidden masterpiece of evolution, the extraordinary world of deep-sea sea slugs. Few animals demonstrate the artistic imagination of evolution more beautifully than the remarkable nudibranches. Many nudibranches feed with remarkable specialization, often consuming only a single type of prey throughout their lives.
These delicate structures assist with respiration, chemical sensing, and, in some species, defense against predators.
Survival in the deep ocean often rewards patience rather than speed.
Many nudibranch species acquire chemical compounds directly from the organisms they consume. Chemical communication guides nearly every aspect of nudibranch behavior beneath the deep ocean. Each underwater mountain becomes an isolated island where evolution writes its own unique stories. Ocean currents connect distant generations while allowing new populations to colonize isolated underwater mountains.
High upon these underwater mountains, another chapter of mollusk life quietly begins.
Few parents in the animal kingdom demonstrate greater patience than an octopus guarding the next generation. Some deep-sea octopus mothers may protect their eggs continuously for several years without leaving. Time itself seems to move differently beneath the ocean. Successful nurseries depend upon stable currents carrying oxygen and microscopic food throughout the ecosystem. Countless small organisms quietly contribute to maintaining the health of these remarkable breeding grounds. Transparency provides exceptional camouflage even within the colorful coral forests of underwater mountains. Entire generations begin their lives upon these isolated underwater mountains. Ahead lies the immense ocean, and only a small fraction of these tiny hatchlings will survive the challenges it presents.
Every great ocean journey begins with a single, gentle current.
As our ascent continues, the mountain reveals one final hidden sanctuary, where light itself becomes part of life. On the highest summits of underwater mountains, powerful currents gather life from every direction, creating one of the richest feeding grounds in the deep ocean. Nutrient-rich currents sustain extraordinary biodiversity on isolated underwater mountains.
Each coral colony functions as an entire living city, supporting hundreds of associated species.
Underwater mountains create vertical habitats unlike any other environment in the deep ocean.
The geometry of these remarkable animals has been refined through millions of years of evolution.
Sometimes the most beautiful animals in the deep ocean are those that almost disappear completely.
Underwater mountains become isolated centers of evolution where countless unique species continue to thrive.
This vertical migration represents the largest synchronized movement of animals anywhere on Earth. Many pelagic mollusks carefully adjust their depth to remain within the safest light conditions throughout the day.
Here, the ocean creates its own sky of stars beneath the waves.
Even tiny pelagic mollusks travel extraordinary vertical distances during their lifetimes. Matching ambient light remains one of the most effective survival strategies within the twilight zone. These synchronized movements create constantly changing habitats for countless species. Different mollusk species have divided the twilight zone into remarkably specialized ecological layers. Young squid develop extraordinary hunting abilities within only a short time after hatching, making them formidable predators in the twilight zone.
Every generation begins with remarkable fragility, yet somehow continues one of the oldest stories in the ocean. Every remarkable mollusk begins life as one tiny possibility, drifting within the immense ocean.
Every journey through the deep ultimately reminds us of one timeless truth: the greatest mysteries of the ocean.
Every sunrise above the ocean begins long before its light reaches the hidden worlds below.
the health of one ocean depth influences every other.
Some stories endure not because they refuse to change, but because they have already found harmony with their world.
As we descend into the blue abyss, we are reminded that most of the ocean's story still remains unwritten. The ocean never asks to be remembered. It simply continues living its ancient story beneath every wave.
Our expedition may be ending, but the ocean has only just begun another day. Beneath every sunrise, billions of invisible journeys begin again. Even the smallest fragment contributes to sustaining life across the greatest depths of the sea.
From the shimmering surface to the fading abyss, every hidden world remains connected in this vast, living system. Every place we explored continues thriving, whether or not anyone is watching.
Some of Earth's oldest survivors still navigate the oceans exactly as their distant ancestors once did.
Humanity has explored only a small fraction of the ocean's true diversity.
Long after this story fades from view, the alien world of deep-sea mollusks will continue its silent journey